welcome back to my channel. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. My name is Jess, and you can also find me on Instagram and on TikTok as KnitAPlanJess. Links are in the description below. So today we're going to be doing a reading planner, reading journal, reading notebook setup. So the majority of this video, it is going to be sped up with voiceover, but I wanted to just kind of pop on, do the live talking and kind of show you what we're going to be working with, and then we will get into actually putting it together. So first of all, I have picked up my discs. I am using these discs from the Happy Planner. These came out of the new adventure bundle that it's part of their Cyber Deals exclusive. So the link is in the description below for this bundle if you want to get these discs. They're like, oh my god, they're like the most stunning dark teal, I guess. It's just, I don't even know how to describe it. I think they're referred to as like an ocean water, but oh my god, they are just gorgeous, and I'm going to love these for my reading journal. And I will be using the cover of my current reading journal, so these will be paired with that. For the purpose of today's video, I am not moving this cover on there yet, just because of the fact that this is still in use. But when I actually go to start using it, I will be switching out the covers, and probably when I record my official planner lineup, I will put the cover on that as well, so that way you can see it in the actual finished. But yeah, so these are the discs. This is the cover that I'll be using. I have a monthly calendar coming out of, like, now that I've taken that apart, this is a mess. I'm going to be using the monthly calendar from the Zodiac Planner, which I'm really excited about this. So we'll be doing that as well. And then I have all of my pages basically drawn out, and all that I'm going to be doing now is just essentially taking pen to the paper and making it so they are officially ready to be used for the year. So that's what we are going to be doing today. All right, as I kind of go through everything that we're going to use, and then I will go ahead and start setting it up. So I've got a Muji 0.38 pen. Whenever I use Tombos to do lettering, I love using the 0.38 Muji as an outline, so we'll be using that. I have the Write-Tech Fine Line. Write-Tech liquid fine liner pens. These are my absolute favorite fine liners to use for my bujo. I have the size 8, 0.005, 0.08, 0.005, 0.05, and 0.1. I also like to use the 0.04 sometimes too, but I think I might be using the 0.05 more than the 0.04, but I'm going to leave this one out just in case. And then my 3 Tombow colors that I think I'm going to use for like any type of headers, they're going to be number 772, which I believe is a Dusty Rose. I actually have like a little swatch book in here, so let's refer back to that. This is the actual printed one from the website, and this is what I have collected so far. But 772 is the Dusty Rose, and it's a gorgeous color. The 553 is Mist Purple, and 90 is Lemon Cream. So you can kind of see like the color, like they're very, very light colors, very pastel-y. And I'm actually using these 2 colors for my social media and my catch-all bujo, so I wanted to kind of intertwine them with my reading journal as well, but I wanted a 3rd color, and I think that this one will be perfect with it. Any other coloring in, we'll be using colored pencils. These are These are from Sue Color. I got them from Amazon. They had a really good reviews, and I really like the colors so far and like the limited time that I've used them. So I'm really excited about that. I have Bujo pages created, and I also am going to be using the 50 book tracker from Plan with Elise. Link is in my description. Instead of, well, okay, so because of the fact that I kind of had a problem with my printer and printing it out classic size, it only wanted to print it out big, I'm going to be cutting them out and putting them on a regular piece of filler paper, probably doing like 3 for each one. And I'm probably going to end up doing, like, I have enough to do 150 books. So I'm going to go ahead and do 150 books, and we'll see how many that I truly read. Okay, let's go ahead. Like I mentioned, for the rest of it is going to be sped up. I will be using voiceover, and then I will do a flip through at the very end. So this is part of a collab that I'm doing with Plan with Elise. We have done this throughout 2020 where we each created a reading journal, and we have been cheering each other on as we progress throughout the year with our reading. My reading journal is a combination of filler paper that I have designed Bujo pages, and then the monthly calendar from a 2023 Happy Planner. It's funny because I actually bought this Happy Planner to be used for something else, and then I decided to switch that, and it just turns out that it works perfectly for my reading journal. So the first page I set up is my books read page. These are the pages where I will be tracking all of the books that I read throughout the year, and I can be able to have shelves showcased with these books. I decided that I didn't want to spend a few hours drawing the books myself, so I actually purchased a printable from Plan with Elise. This sheet offers 4 shelves totaling 50 books, so I printed it out 3 times, and I cut out the shelves, put 3 shelves over 4 sheets of filler paper, well, 2 sheets of filler paper front and back, so then that way I have plenty of room to write all of the books that I read. 150 is not my goal, but I wanted to make sure that I would not have to create any additional books read sheets. And I ended up actually creating a Dutch door for the books read because I wanted to be able to have this fun header that I made. It's okay, it's a very plain header, but this fun header that I made, I wanted to be able to show it off over both sheets that I used for my books read. And that concludes the books read page. I love how they turned out. Now we're coming up on my TBR, or my to be read list. This is basically a running list of books that I want to read in 2023. When I think of a TBR list, I think of something that is completely irrational and completely unreasonable and completely unattainable to read in a full year, but it is fun. I love, seeing new books that come out, and I just love a growing TBR list. So I took 2 pages. Each one is double-sided, so 4 pages total for my TBR. I think I did 6 for 2022, so I am restraining myself, but yeah, I can't wait to fill up these pages with books that I want to read, even though I know that I probably will not ever get around to reading them because there's just too many books out there. When I thought of how I wanted to create my reading journal, I knew that I wanted to create the Bujo pages with the rounded corner boxes, and I wanted to keep them reasonably simple. That's also the approach that I took with my Goodreads challenge page. So this is my Goodreads challenge 2023. My 2023 goal will follow the same idea that 2022 has. I started out with 50 books and it just progressed to 75 and then 100, just basically seeing how my year went. So when I designed this page, I knew that I wanted to have at least 100 boxes, but I wanted to go beyond that. So I just filled up the page with boxes, all with rounded corners, and then I left room for a header. Now we come to my daily reading tracker. In 2022, this actually was a challenge to see if I could be able to read almost every single day of the month. Well, it turns out that I very easily read every single day of the month. So I decided to just do a tracker instead. This way I can be able to color in each day, and I might coordinate the color for each day with the book that I was reading, because all of the books on the book tracker are going to be colored in according to a rating system. So that might be really fun to have it all color coordinated. And this was just really a simple rows and columns that will each be colored in, and then I just gave each column a month. And then the header follows the same design style as the rest of the headers in the reading journal. Now I did go ahead and mess up on how I wanted to write in daily reading, so I ended up writing it in on a second piece of paper, and then I just used my Tombow adhesive, put it on, and you honestly cannot tell. I also decided that I wanted to do a tracker to show what kind of book that I was reading each day. So this is for my audiobook, physical book, or a Kindle book, and each one will have a separate color. I created this tracker the exact same way that I created the one for my daily reading tracker, where each column for a month is 2 boxes, while each row is just 1 box. I really love the wider look of it, and I just really like how it turned out overall. This is something that I thought would be really fun because since I do read every single day, I want to see the type of book that I'm reading. Audio tends to be my go-to during the week. I definitely favor Kindle books over physical or paper books. I'm actually kind of hoping that this tracker will motivate me to read a lot more physical books and I guess you could say clear off those shelves. And now we come to my A to Z challenge. This is a page that I created in the exact same style as my TBR pages. So a simple rounded corner box around the edge and then a rounded corner rectangle header where I have the A to Z. It's funny because you will see that I actually ended up leaving off X and Z just because those books with those letters as the first in the title was so hard to find for 2022. And I actually probably should have named this the A to Y minus X challenge. But overall, I'm excited to do this challenge again, and I like how the simple page turned out. And then I also decided to create a DNF, or a do not finish. This is just a page where I will list out the book that I did not finish and maybe even kind of write in why I did not finish it. All right, now these pages definitely took some time to create. These are my monthly ARC pages. So if you're not familiar with publisher lingo or publishing lingo, ARC is advanced reader copy, and this can mean audiobooks, which are typically referred to as ALCs, but also Kindle books and physical books. But basically, they are advanced copies of a book that is sent to or provided to readers and reviewers in order to be able to get them reviewed before they are ultimately released to the public. So I participate in the website NetGalley, which is a huge one for electronic ARCs, but it's really fun being able to read books before they are published. And I decided that I wanted to kind of just track the arcs that I was reading throughout the year. So I just created a page where I can be able to print out little pictures and put them in each month. I did a Dutch door style, which I really love, because in that way, as I'm flipping through each of the months, I can still be able to see the header that I created. And I decided to do a similar idea for the Bad Bish Book Club. This is a book club that I'm doing with my friend Ashley J. Plans on Instagram. We had a Bad Bish book club in 2022 and we decided to expand on it. And we're also going to be, extending participation for those out in the community. So on Instagram, but basically, I decided to create Dutch door pages in order to be able to track the books that we actually read each month. And I really, really love how this turned out. But I also really love the Dutch door style in a Bujo notebook. So I think that that's why I love this so much. I actually ended up trimming these down before I started recording this video, and I'm really glad that I did, because as you can tell, these pages took some time to put together. Now, if you've been watching this and you're thinking, oh, I want to put together a reading journal, I do want to give you a little bit of a warning. This reading journal probably took me about a good 7 to 8 hours total time to put together, between mapping it out, sketching it out, and then ultimately taking pen to paper. However, it is extremely rewarding for me, which is ultimately why I did it. And just know that if you want to create your own reading journal, but you don't want to draw everything out, check Etsy, because there are a lot of sellers who offer printables of their Bookstagram and their reading journal pages that you can be able to use for yourself. Now, these pages that I'm creating now are our Bad Bish Book Club bingo. We decided that we're going to be doing 4 bingos a year, so one for each quarter. And I decided that I wanted to really track that and show that in my reading journal. So I just created some simple 9-box bingo boards, and once we have everything finalized, I will be updating my bingo boards with the prompts, so then that way I can be able to track them in my reading journal as well. And yes, Vinny decided to join us while I was creating this. I actually ended up recording this video in several pieces just because it is not easy to be able to sit down for about 3 hours to record the video. But in the long run, I am so glad that I recorded this to share with you guys how I'm creating each page. So now that the bingo pages are done, I am coming up to my monthly review page. This is another idea that I used in 2022. So I have been writing in just on a slip of paper, the number of books that I read each month, because since I'm a very visual person, not only do I like to see the books that I read each month, but I also like to see the number, because numbers ultimately are what are adding up for my Goodreads challenge. So I created the same idea with the boxes around the header, but obviously I only created 12 of them, one for each month. And because of the fact that I wanted to kind of mimic the headers on my Bad Bish Book Club and on my monthly arcs, I decided to go ahead and do the same idea with these as well, where I just colored in the very top of the box for the header, and that's where the month will be written in. And I really love the colors that I picked out for this spread. I feel like that mist purple and the dusty rose just work so well together. And I really love seeing them alternated as well. And then finally, this is the second to last page, I think. but this is my 2024 upcoming books. So these are basically books that are going to be published in 2024, because usually we start finding out about 2024 books in 2023. So I decided that I wanted a place to track it, and this is even something that will carry over into 2024. And I can just be able to write down the books that I'm looking forward to, so then that way when the next year comes along, I know what to already put on my TBR list. To give you an example of how early that books can be announced, I am doing the voiceover for this on November 29th, and already I have seen advanced reader copies or ARCs on NetGalley for books that are being published in July of 2023. So we're talking 6 to 8 months ahead of schedule. So while I may not be able to fill up November to December or even October or September, I know that by December I will be able to fill up at least through August. And my last page is my 2024 plans. This is just a place for me to write down a list of ideas of what I would like to incorporate in my 2024 reading journal. And now for the official flip through of our reading journal. Just to kind of give you guys a little warning, it took me about 3 hours to take the actual pen to the paper and to kind of finish everything up for the reading journal. So, and it probably took me maybe about the same amount of time to draw it out in pencil first. So just a heads up, if you are going to be putting this together, you want to make sure that you give yourself plenty of time. So let's go ahead and do the flip through. This is the cover that I'm going to be using. It's the cover that I'm using on my reading journal now, and I'm using these dark teal, oh my god, these are like stunning, these dark teal discs from the Happy Planner. Or maybe they're just like a dark green, but I don't know, they're stunning though. I love them. The World Was Hers for the reading cover. And then we go into, so my friend Ashley of Ashley J Plans, she made me some vinyls, and I love it. So she made me my name one, which I put on a frosted dashboard, and I cut down the dashboard. And then she also made me a star covering vinyl, and then this fun reading one. And I thought that this could be really fun for the book cover. I'm trying to decide, though, if I want something in between of this and this. That's what I'm just trying to decide. But I really like these together, though. So now we come to our books read. So these are going to be for all of the books that I have finished reading. I used the 50 book tracker from Plan with Elise. So I printed out 3 of them to give me 150, which is probably going to be way too many, but just in case. And I cut them off of the paper and glued them onto filler paper. The first page has 3 shelves on each side, and this third page also has 3 shelves, but the first page is basically cut down, so then that way the header from, or I guess the second page, the header from the second page you can be able to see, and I really kind of like that Dutch door. So what I'll be doing is I'll be writing in the title and then just using colored pencils to color in each completed book. I don't know if I might do a key on this page actually. I'm thinking about doing a key to kind of determine like what color is going to be for a book, depending on on how I rate it. So I'm thinking about doing that, but I haven't decided that yet. My books read, so like I said, okay, so oh my goodness. So I have 2 pages on the Dutch door, a 3rd page, and then the 4th page is right here. Then we come to my TBR list, or my to be read list, And just what I intend to do is just like a little dot and then write it out. So it'll just be a running list. I have actually 4 pages for that. I really hope I don't have to end up putting more in. Then we come to my Goodreads challenge. So I kind of did it a little bit different. I don't know how many boxes that I have. It's over 100, I can tell you that. But I think it's like maybe 115. Probably, I don't know. But yeah, it's over 100. If you want to count it, let me know, pause it. Let me know how many boxes that I have. But my ultimate goal is going to be 50, and then I will extend it to 75, and then 100, kind of depending on what time of the year that it is. And if I fill this up, I fill it up, fantastic. I might add in like another Dutch door. I could do like a Dutch door up here, and then a Dutch door right here. And that would be like, I think, really cool because of the title. But we'll kind of see how. We'll see how the year goes. But if I do fill up this page, I will plan on doing the Dutch door ideas because I think that that could be really fun. And then my daily reading. So this is going to be just going to mark it off that I read each day. And then I have reading in pixels. And this is going to kind of determine what I read. So, or I'm going to fill it in to show what I read. So I have the Kindle, the audio, and the physical book colors. I think now that I'm kind of talking about it, I'm on my key. I want to not only have the colors for my rating system, but I think I want to also include the numbers of the tombos that I used. So for the physical, we use 90, which is their lemon cream. I used 772 for the audio, which is their dusty rose. And then I used 553 for the Kindle, which I believe this is the mist purple. And then I also used the mist purple and the dusty rose for my headers, just basically alternating it. So I'm really excited about these two as well. And then A to Z challenge. I did the A to Z challenge a little bit differently this year. So we have letters A through Z minus X and Y. And the reason why I did that is because I found it to be very difficult to find books this year that started with X and Z the A to Z challenge is A through Y with the exception of X and Z, because I found books. It was very difficult to find books that I was actually interested in reading that started with the letters. I was contemplating allowing it to include any letter with, or any word with that letter. And then I was kind of thinking, well, I could also do the author's name. And I just want to keep it simple. A through Y, no X, no Z, first letter of the title. And then we have my DNF page. My DNF page, I don't know if I'm yet going to use it as just like a running list or if I'm going to do like a little picture and then a snippet of why I did not finish it. So we'll kind of see once I come to my first DNF book, that's how I will know how I'm going to set it up. Monthly arcs. So I am part of NetGalley. And basically through NetGalley, you can be able to get advanced reader copies and advanced listener copies of Kindle and audiobooks. So I like to track what arcs that I have or that I'm reading each month. So I think I'm going to plan on printing out like a little picture because I like my visuals, and I'll be able to put that for each month. And I think for the arcs, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to include rating stickers, so just little stars to kind of show how I rated it. And I will probably include, if there's any arcs that I do not finish, I will include them in this as well. But basically for March through October, I created it as a Dutch door style, so that way you can still see my header, which I realize it's kind of plain, but I don't care. And it just gives me the opportunity to kind of decorate it and jazz it up during the year. And then we come to my Bad Bitch Book Club, which this is something that I'm doing alongside Ashley J. Plans. Instagram link for her is in the description. But basically, during the year, we have kept up a Bad Bitch Book Club where we have read the same books as each other, and if we get a chance to talk about it, then we do. This is something that we're actually expanding on for 2023 to include the Instagram community more. So this is where I'll be including like the books that we choose for the book club, and just kind of any information. And I've got Dutch doors for that as well because I wanted 2 months per page. So really like to have that extra room. And then to go along with the book club, we also have bingo boards. I have not filled them in yet just because I'm going to wait until we completely confirm the bingos. But we're doing a bingo every quarter. So quarter 1, quarter 2, 3, and 4. And each bingo board will just have 9 options to kind of keep it simple. And yeah, I really like this. I think it's fun. And then I have my monthly review. This one, I'm kind of torn on how I'm gonna do this. If I'm only reading 6 books a month, I could very easily write down the titles. So I may plan on, for the monthly review, doing the total number of books and then doing like a monthly breakdown. So that way it's all visually in one place. And then 2024. This is, and I might even like kind of expand on the title right here, but this is basically a page that I have created to allow myself to track any books that are being published in 2024 that I want to keep an eye out. So that just gives me plenty of room to write, because usually there's like anywhere between 1 to 4 books. So it gives me plenty of room for that. And I love how these 2 pages turned out. Like, these might be my absolute favorite pages. And part of me wants to turn these ones into those same little old-fashioned library checkout cards, but I don't know yet if I'm going to do that. And then a place to list out any 2024 plans. I can just do a dot, write out some notes. I can doodle it. It gives me plenty of room to be able to map out my ideas, sort of thing. Okay, and then we come to the monthly calendar. So I'm kind of going back and forth about how I'm going to use these, but here's my idea. These will probably not be used. I might set my goals. I may set my goals. This is going to be for publishing dates. I think, because even if it's not books that I've read, but I think it'd be really fun to like write out, because obviously there's some days where there's multiple books publishing, so I might do like my favorite book, or but yeah, I think it'd be fun to kind of track that. And then originally I was going to use this for like the pictures and writing out my goals and stuff, but as I was taking them out, I was kind of going back and forth. So obviously calendar is going to be used for tracking it. I'll probably use like mild liners and tombos instead of stickers for the actual calendar, and then I'll just kind of decorate in like the empty spaces. And I have this idea to use this as my reflection page, because I can track when I read audio, when I read Kindle, when I read physical books. I can do a TBR, my goal, and then some notes, and then maybe do the pictures on this one. But if I do that, then I have to figure out what I'm going to use the currently page for. I might just leave the currently page, honestly, and just leave it blank, because I really like the idea of using this as my monthly reflection and this as a picture of the book, because of the fact that it's laid out flat. So that's kind of my idea. It's kind of my thoughts, but once I actually go in to use it, that's when I'll really settle on this is exactly what I'm doing. But then we have just February through December. I'm not going to flip through every single one of them because it's really only the divider decoration is different. It's all set up the same way. They all have the monthly calendar. They all have these 2 pages, and yeah, I really love this. I'm so excited to have my reading journal completely set up and ready for me. And then there's December, and yeah, I'm excited because I added in all the pages that I wanted to, that I didn't for 2022. We've expanded on ideas with a friend, and I'm excited to use this. I'm excited to use it, and I think, yeah, you can't see like right now how chunky it is. It's very thin actually, but I think what I'm more so excited about is expanding on the ideas of what I'm doing this year into 2024. So it'll be really fun to do that as well. All right, I'm done. This was a lot of talking. This was a very long video, and I appreciate you guys watching. So if you enjoy this video, if you enjoy my bullet journal, sped up voiceover style, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I can't wait to bring you guys more Bujo and reading content, and I just really hope that you enjoy it. And yes, thank you guys so much, and have a good day. Bye. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe and enjoy the next video.